Hey folks, Chris Simmons here with CreateInsights.com. Here's another insight for you, and this one I want to discuss how a great video production may result in less profit, and basically how going the extra mile can potentially hurt your video business. Now, obviously, I'm a believer in high quality and delivering the best thing that you can deliver to customers. However, in some cases, we're spending way more time than we need to keep those customers happy. And when we do that, we often do it at the expense of our own profit. So really, in a recent conversation, I touched on that idea that good enough may be the enemy of great, but that great can often be the enemy of profit. I had a good dialogue with other videographers, but really wanted to share it with the Create Insiders, everybody who has invested in our Create Insights membership program. For the most part, I'm a perfectionist. I want every shot, edit, deliverable, meeting, etc. to be absolutely perfect, where everyone leaves ecstatic about their experience with my company, period. This is the standard I've used my entire professional life. It's worked out pretty well up to this point. Of course, I'm not perfect, but quality control is something I learned as a kid from my father, who spent 26 years in the U.S. Navy. He started at 17 at the bottom of the food chain and was able to retire as a commanding officer. That's pretty cool if you ask me, but I've learned a lot growing up with my dad. I love my dad and know he's a huge reason why I have the drive and leadership skills that make me successful in the video production industry. He wasn't what you'd picture a drill sergeant at home, but he always set the expectation that if you say you're going to do something, do it. Period. No excuses. If you can't deliver, don't commit. He also taught me one of my favorite quotes and personal mottos: never argue with an idiot. It reduces you to their level. So let me get back to the point. When times were good, it was easy to go the extra 10 miles on our video projects because our profit margins were such that we could spend all this extra time making things perfect for a client. In the new economy, and I'm using my quote fingers here, where margins are razor thin and we are all having to work for much less per project than accustomed to, there just simply isn't room for perfection anymore. Almost perfection perhaps, but definitely not the same level of perfection we've had the luxury of providing in the past. I know you've probably heard of the 80-20 rule, and the same way it applies in other industries, I believe it also applies here. We spend 80% of our time on the last 20% of the project. For instance, you rough cut a project and get it looking pretty good in the first 10 hours. Then you start the special effects, transitions, and color grading, and that takes an additional 30 hours. My question is, do our clients even notice all the extra effort? I recently edited a project for a company and pulled out all the stops with 3D graphics, multi-layer composited backgrounds, etc. And after spending all that time, their response was, can you make the graphics look 2D like our website? And we really want the background to just be plain white. I thought, holy crap, are you serious? This video looks incredible, and we spent so many hours making it perfect. It didn't matter. So we stripped all the cool stuff out of the graphic elements, and they loved their version much better than ours. Their version would have taken up to about 6 hours to execute. Our version took almost 30. It's funny how people work sometimes. They really are a great client and one I hope to work with many more times in the future, but now I know they like things simpler, which makes my job a lot easier and more profitable. Clients can recognize a good video against a poor one, but if the video is technically accurate, the footage looks great, the music and voiceover are mixed properly, and you've been able to incorporate their branded graphics in a nice fashion so the video looks similar to other marketing materials they have, what else do you or they need for the video to be successful? The answer is not much. You really don't need much more than that for a client to be happy and for the project to be a success. In this economy, clients seem to be more focused on budget and deadline. They'll hire a production company because they believe the quality will be equal to or greater than what they expect, but I'm finding as long as it's a good video, delivered on time, within budget, they are more than happy. In fact, happy enough to come back over and over again. I've also learned that the more you involve them in the creative process, the less you will have to make revisions down the road. Or, if you have to make revisions, they'll understand that it's outside the scope of your agreement and they'll give you additional budget. In many of our projects, making it great causes us to miss a deadline or go over budget. This impacts my profit, and I'm never happy when that happens. I'm okay with spending a few extra hours with the special effects, transitions, and color grading to make it look professional, but I think we're getting upside down within our own production shops here. If you aren't doing it already, start logging every hour you spend on a project and compare it back to the original budget when you're done. I bet a lot of us are making half of the per hour rate we should because of all this extra time we're spending on things that the clients don't even care about. The problem with the example I gave before is that you're spending 40 plus hours on a project and you probably only have 20 hours worth of editing time in the budget. I know the artist in all of us wants to keep working until every project is perfect, but the business owner in us needs to lock that artist in the closet every now and then until he or she agrees to play by the rules. I saw a sign once in an editor's office that read, "Video projects are never completed, they're merely abandoned." Think about it. We never truly finish a video. There's always one more thing that we could tweak, one more thing that we would change, but the reality is the deadline's coming, the client needs their video now, so we just hurry up, wrap it up, and deliver it. Deadlines, budgets, etc. make it where we ultimately have to stop production at some point, even if it's not 100% polished, just to keep the business moving. If we keep managing our projects inefficiently, we will go out of business. It's basic economics. If you generate profit, you win. If you lose money for long enough, you're done. Plain and simple. Breaking even may keep the doors open another month, but I bet you're not paying yourself a decent salary for all your efforts if the company is just breaking even. Generating a healthy profit is what keeps you growing and excited about your work for the rest of your working life. Let's be honest. We all got into this industry because we love it and because it's fun. The only thing that makes it even more fun is when we can also make a lot of money doing it. So with future productions, I would encourage you, look at your client expectations, figure out what it's going to take for them to be satisfied with the finished production, and make sure you over-deliver based on their expectations, but just don't shoot so far out above and beyond that you're hurting your own profit margins. Definitely give them more than they expect, but be very careful in managing the production process so that you can deliver a product that they are very happy with, that is highly profitable for you, and that will satisfy them to the point where they'll keep coming back over and over and over.